Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the December 7th, 2022 full moon in Gemini, part 2 of 2. This is going to fall at 16 degrees Gemini. As far as Sabian symbols go, this may increase the propensity for some kind of accident. It may be attributed to something happening to someone due to another person's lack of discretion. It could simply be someone falling on a slippery floor with no caution sign on it. Also, it may manifest in a family member being called out for causing too much distress in one's life, even if that wasn't the intention. It may be about one letting a person know that they are more versatile and multifaceted than they may want others to believe. In some cases, a facade of not being well-rounded may be used to get out of doing certain things. Now, and people may be more aware of this at this time. Now, it's also important to look at the electional aspects this makes. This could impact its delineation and interpretation. Now, this is going to make a conjunction to Mars in Gemini. Now, this may increase the propensity of completing something that requires manual dexterity. This could add more energy to whatever may be completed associated with the full moon. And I would also say it could add courage if you're, because the full moon can also again be connected with becoming tired, full, and exasperated of something. If you're calling somebody out and you're tired of some kind of behavior such as overly mercurial, fickle or contradictory behavior by someone, it may give one more courage in calling the person out over this. Now, this is also, there may also be a greater proclivity, for car accidents at this time. As I stated before, there can be a greater propensity of accidents under the full moon. Now, the conjunction to Mars, which rules accidents, certainly doesn't help matters. Now, this is also going to make a trine to Saturn in Aquarius. Now, this may give greater mental understanding of what needs to be done to work laboriously toward one's future. And Gemini again, is connected with manual dexterity. Aquarius is associated with computers, robotics, and electronics. Bear with me, people, momentarily here. Look at this chart a little bit more for this full moon. But this also too, Gemini again, is connected, with manual dexterity, and the thing is, this could be, an opportune time, for somebody to complete, something that requires emphasized use of the hands associated with something Aquarius related. Now, the full moon can be, an excellent time to go publicly with this. Now, another thing is it's also important to look at other electional transits that take place at the time of this full moon, as they will be amplified and intensified because they are taking place at the same time as this full moon in Gemini transit. Now, transit Mercury in Capricorn is going to be making a square to Jupiter in Pisces. Now, by itself, the aspect can indicate a proclivity to distort stories and tell tall tales. It may also give overconfidence in thinking. Mercury in Capricorn can manifest in business ideas. Jupiter in Pisces may enlarge imagination and unrealism. Now, some people may, come up with business ideas, but they may not be overly, pragmatic or practical. And Mercury in Capricorn can be expressed in being overly, melancholy or despondent. And Jupiter in Pisces, may enlarge suicidal behavior. It's also going to be at the 29th degree, which is close to that fixed star sheet. which can be connected, I would say, with homicide and suicide. With the square aspect, the energy will not be working well together. So, be careful, if anyone out there, at this time, if they're feeling a little bit, overly pessimistic or despondent, dejected, melancholy, just be wary of this, and, reach out and talk to somebody. If something is, you know, not, something is bothering you, rather than do something, overly, impetuous or impulsive or what have you. And if you know somebody, that's is facing some distress, and they're very, somebody's, a person that's, depressive, or again very despondent or dejected or sad, try to, be there for the person, and console them if something is wrong. It could be very critical at this time to do that, I would say. And another thing too, it's it's also important, to look at other transits to your natal chart at this time, as they will be accentuated and emphasized because they're taking place at the same time as this full moon in Gemini. Now, transit Venus in Sagittarius is going to make a sextile, to my natal Jupiter in Libra. By itself, the transit can be auspicious for prosperity. Being more specific, transit Venus, being in my 8th house, may manifest in valuing, which is Venus expanding horizons, which is Sagittarius in the occult, which includes astrology, and that's the 8th house. Now, with this making a sextile to my natal Jupiter in Libra in the 6th house, this may lead to more prosperity, which is Jupiter, and a more balance, which is Libra, work that I do, and that's the 6th house. Now, another thing too, on the day of this full moon in Gemini, December 7th, 2022, it's National Letter Writing Day will be honored. And the fact this occurs on this full moon, may give it more significance. And, the thing is, people at this time, that may actually learn, be more cognizant and aware of writing ability that they may not have had previously, or been aware. Maybe they had it, but they just weren't aware of it. They may have been oblivious to it. And it's also an opportune time, if you wanted to handwrite something to somebody, or you were, you started it and didn't quite finish it, this would be the opportune or ideal time to complete it, because full moons in astrology, again, are associated with culminations and completions of things. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment, and until next time, Edwin Larnard saying stay well.